What's up guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Celeste. Just sit back and relax and let's talk about it. Now, Celeste is obviously an old game. It was 2018, 6 years ago. The reviews of the game are extremely positive, but I still think that people don't realize how much of a big impact this game was. Before we get into why Celeste had a huge impact on platforming games, let's get to how a game can influence a whole genre. Most video game genres today are influenced by a certain game. Some examples. Firstly, Mario 64 basically started the whole 3D video game genre. Another example is GoldenEye, starting the huge market of first-person shooters. Without these games, this type of genre of video games just wouldn't exist. Now obviously I'm not saying Celeste invented the platforming genre of video games. That would probably go to the original Super Mario Bros. But Celeste did do something different with platformers. See, here I would categorize platforming games into two main categories. Either they're very easy or extremely hard. Now obviously the easy platforming games such as the new Mario platformer, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, can be appealing to a more younger or casual audience. But it can also feel less satisfying for a more hardcore fan base. While in the opposite end of the spectrum we have very hard platforming games such as Super Meat Boy and many other examples, where these types of games can often get frustrating to play, especially for a more casual fan base. Now you might be thinking, yeah, Celeste obviously goes in the more harder side of the platformer games, right? And yes, I would agree to that, but I believe that there's more than that. Celeste, it hits the perfect medium, where the game isn't too hard and isn't too easy at the same time. When you get used to the controls, the game no longer becomes irritating to play. The main game is separated into 7 chapters, where the second you enter the game, it immediately shows you the starting point and the bottom of the mountain, all the way to the end at the top. Now there are 2 extra chapters that do go in the extremely hard category of platforming games, but that's just an extra, you don't have to do it. It's like after you finish the game, for more hardcore fans, you can try these levels if you want. Now a part that makes Celeste so good are the controls. They're so basic yet so complex. They have such a high learning curve yet basic at the same time. The game makes learning them and becoming better at them so rewarding. You have a normal jump, a climb, and a dash. These controls all work so well together, and the fact that you can dash in 8 different directions gives you so much freedom on how you want to beat a part of a level. What makes this game even less frustrating and more acceptable to casual fan bases is the constant checkpoints after you finish a small part of a level. Just to give you a small summary of the beginning of the game, the first chapter of the game is called Forsaken City, and it's basically the beginning of the adventure, where it's a city filled with snow. And it's the first time you meet a fan favorite character, Theo. Now I won't go over each chapter because I want to give an opportunity to people who haven't played the game to try it out right now. Now I'm not saying that Celeste is not a platformer game. It's a platformer game, but with its unique art style and storytelling, it basically made a whole subgenre of platforming games. Now deep story in video games isn't anything really new. For example, see Red Dead Redemption 2 or Last of Us, even 8-bit games such as Undertale. Whereas Undertale showed that even a game with 8-bit graphics can have an extremely deep story. I do believe Celeste took some inspiration from Undertale, how both games have lore accurate name for the characters, but also giving you the option to name the character yourself, being Frisk in Undertale and Madeline in Celeste. Also how they both have extremely deep and sensitive stories, where Celeste goes deep into the idea of being worthless and depressed and having constant anxiety. And the whole main character's mission is to climb the mountain. Wait, but how is that gonna solve for depression? You might be confused, right? That's the thing, the game shows that the way to overcome your depression is at least to try to do the things you want to accomplish in life. But I won't spoil any more than that. Before Celeste, I haven't really seen any platforming games that went really hard in the story of the game. That's why I believe it created a whole subgenre of platforming games, and the reason that I'm actually making this video. Most platforming games are about just saving a damsel in distress or just saving a person from a bad guy. Celeste is nothing like that. It's completely different. It almost created a whole subgenre of platforming games where it more focuses on the deep side of the story, and also still had what made platforming games fun in the first place. Challenging yet satisfying gameplay, getting towards both hardcore and casual players. Last thing I want to talk about before ending the video are the last 2 chapters, specifically the last one. After finishing the game, the player is given the option to play way harder levels that require specific inputs, which really goes to show that Celeste even thought about the extremely hardcore fans that would find the base game easy, so giving them a harder challenge. And also not to mention the fact that there's also an easy mode, which makes the game even more accessible. Now collectibles in the game include the strawberries and crystal hearts. The crystal hearts are required to 100% the game and even complete the last level, but again the last level is not needed, it's just to get a secret ending that you don't even need to see it. And the strawberries are not necessary at all. All the strawberries do are make the player feel better at the end of the game, where the number of strawberries you collect determine what end screen you get on the game. It's kind of similar to Luigi's Mansion, where at the end of the game it shows you the mansion Luigi bought with the gold you collected, where the higher the amount of gold, the larger and bigger the mansion. So it goes to show how much Celeste took from other games, but also ended up making such a unique game that will be remembered for centuries, in my opinion. I think this game should be remembered for centuries for how much of an influence it made to the platforming genre. The platforming genre is a genre that I adore, and I love platforming games. I love platformer games. They're my favorite video game genre. So I really appreciate what Celeste did. Platformer games were lacking many things. Now a lot of the platformer games nowadays take inspiration from Celeste, have a similar art style. So all I have to say is thank you, Celeste, because you really improved my favorite game genre. And thank you to the creators of Celeste. The last thing I want to talk about is the OST. Now, I have a lot of video game OST saved on my laptop, but this OST is probably one of my favorites. It's made by the same OST creator of the new Minecraft songs. Honestly, they killed it. I couldn't have imagined a better OST for this game with an 8-bit style and everything. Anyways, I'm gonna end the video here. Don't forget to like and subscribe and give your opinions in the comments below about what you think about this game if you've played it. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend for you to play it, especially if you like platformer games. I tried a new style of content for this video, so if you liked it, be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.